mamas. I hope you are well. If this is your first time watching me, hi, my name is Delaney. I am the mom to a little 5-month-old girl, and I also have an Instagram page where I showcase a lot of my dressmaking and sewing creations. Recently, I got a DM from a follower who is engaged, getting married, wants to be a mom soon, but she also loves sewing. And she basically asked me how I had the time to be a dedicated stay-at-home mama to my little girl, but also how I've been keeping up with so many sewing projects postpartum. And I wanted to answer her to the best of my ability, so I was thinking about it, and I came up with like 6 or 7 tips that I think would be really beneficial to all my creative mamas out there. This is applicable even if you're not a sewist. Maybe you like painting or baking or I don't know, honestly, whatever it is. I think that these tips will work for you and you could translate them into your own hobby. So hopefully this video will be helpful to you. So I thought that I would just take you throughout my day today and run through those different tips, starting with having a dedicated workspace. This has been a game changer in terms of my productivity because everything that I'm working on is in the same place, everything's organized, I'm not wasting any time looking for anything. The best part is I can enter this space as soon as I put Seneca down for a nap, and then right when she wakes up, I keep her monitor out here with me. I can leave everything as it is. I don't have to worry about cleaning the space up. No one's gonna come in here and see it. It is just for me. So I can literally drop my project, leave it, and go get her when she wakes up for a nap. You will notice that each of my projects is in one of these little baggies. I think of this as like meal prepping, but for your projects. So I will do all of the really intensive parts of prepping a project. In sewing, that's assembling the patterns and cutting the pieces from your fabric. I will do all of that for projects I have in mind all at once and just get it out of the way. That way, when I have little bits throughout my day where I can sew, I just come in here, grab a baggie, go to my sewing machine, and I can get a project done. Now, in order to do this heavy, intensive work on a project all at once, I have to ask for help. So I take full advantage of the fact that my mom lives in Arizona. She loves spending time with Seneca. She'll take her on errands or just spend the day with her. And that is typically when I will get the bulk of the prep work for a project finished. And then I also have Saturdays where I'm not the primary caregiver. So every Saturday, my husband takes Seneca and he, as I said, he's the primary caregiver. I don't have to change a diaper or put her down to sleep, none of that. And you might think that I would use this time to sew and get projects done, but I actually use my Saturdays, to get all of my housework done. So I basically start on one side of the house and I deep clean the entire house, putting everything away, mopping, vacuuming, dusting, you name it. I get the house in order every Saturday. If I get started quite early, I'm typically done by the late afternoon, and then I'll spend the rest of the day running any errands that the family needs run or doing any sort of admin stuff. This is when I get as much of my wifely duties and like mom duties done for the week as I possibly can. So I'll just like schedule things. I mean, you name it. I get the job done on Saturday. And this way, throughout the week, I don't have to stress about my obligations while I'm trying to enjoy sewing. I can just jump into a project and get it done. I've discussed, like I've mentioned it a few times, that I'm not the primary caregiver on Saturdays in a couple of other videos, and I think I'll do like a little video on this, why we implemented it, how it works, why it works, etc., in case that's something you're interested in. But in terms of tips for managing your hobbies as a stay-at-home mom, I would say the most beneficial piece of advice I can give you is to incorporate your baby into your projects. So if you're only trying to get work done when your baby's not with you, you probably will never complete a project. So baby wear them or give them something to stimulate them while you're working. Seneca really loves being baby worn, and she also enjoys like playing with some of my fabrics if she doesn't want to be held. But this is a really beneficial thing for your baby because they're being exposed to things that they wouldn't otherwise be, and they get to bond and be near you. And this is kind of a key component to a philosophy called parent-centric child rearing. And I spoke a little bit about this in a previous video that I made while I was still pregnant. I'd read a book that talked about this style of parenting, and I discussed what I thought about it and how I had planned to implement it with Seneca. And I'll make another video, sort of like an update on how it's actually worked for me and my family, but that has been a significant part of being able to still do the things that I love, but just with her, like bringing her into my world and showing her the things that I love to do and just doing them with her around me. And there you have it. Those are my top tips for managing a hobby, passion project, basically just being able to do it all as a stay-at-home mom. If you have anything to add, leave it in the comment section below. You never know who it might help. Other than that, I hope you have a wonderful day, and we will see you in the next video. Ciao!